reports is coming out, and we're hearing that Shedeur Sanders had a chance to play or get drafted by the Baltimore Ravens, but made the executive decision decide if backing up Lamar Jackson was the path that he wanted to take for his career, and said, no, that's not the path he wanted.
You're coming in here as the 3rd round pick. Shedeur is coming in as the 5th round pick, yet he brings a lot of the social media and the entourage and the hype and all the hoopla and all that kind of stuff. So what is your sort of mindset or approach to that whole notion of it?
Yeah, I mean, for me, life of simplicity is a life full of, focus. Life of, complexity comes with life of distractions, but for me, I'm focused.
Dillon Gabriel is officially fuming, and the reason? Shedeur Sanders just told the Ravens, thanks, but no thanks, on a deal so monstrous it could have fed a small country. Dillon's face alone is probably a meme by now. What's going on behind the scenes? Why would Shedeur walk away from so much money? Stick around, because this is the kind of NFL drama that makes Monday mornings feel like a soap opera, complete chaos incoming.
Yeah, I think we'll still have to go back to the film and see how it is, but for me, I think just continue to learn from maybe some things that, can't happen, like turnovers. But I think other than that, there was flashes of being very consistent and clean as an offense. And I think as long as we consistently, work at that and try to put more of those kind of drives together, you see our defense playing really well and just putting each other in better positions.
If you're enjoying, please subscribe Shedeur Sanders to the channel. It helps more than you think. Dillon Gabriel is pacing like he's auditioning for a role in a disaster movie, convinced this is his moment, his spotlight, the stage where he finally shows the world he's the next big thing. He's got that look, the one that screams, I am untouchable, and everyone else better just get in line. But Shedeur Sanders? Oh, Shedeur is on another level.
Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens were planning to select Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round with the 141st overall selection. But when he found out, he got word back to the Ravens that he preferred not to go to a place where he would be competing and backing up Lamar Jackson. He wanted to be in a place that he could play. And so when the Ravens got that message, they pivoted, went a different direction with the 141st overall selection. And 3 picks later, the Cleveland Browns selected Shedeur Sanders, who will be in Baltimore today.
While Dillon is busy flexing his imaginary crown, Shedeur is quietly moving pieces on a chessboard nobody else even knew existed. 3 moves ahead, 10 steps back, and somehow still sipping a latte like he's not just rejected a monster Ravens deal that would have made Dillon's head spin.
Ain't no backup quarterback in Shedeur. He don't got that bone in his body. You would have went to Baltimore because that's the backup quarterback in you. I think he has a better chance to start a game in Cleveland more so than in Baltimore.
That's not always the best thing.
But that's the best thing for Shedeur.
I don't think so.
He don't have backup blood. He will not play football. He will stream all his life and make millions. It's not about being a backup in the best situation. I want to start and be the star. Long as they losing games, they gonna keep on trying different guys.
Dillon probably thought this was going to be simple. Offer Shedeur the deal, watch him say yes, take a victory lap, and maybe even get a gold star for diplomacy. Instead, he's hit with the reality that Shedeur isn't just a player, he's a strategist with the patience of a monk and the smirk of someone who just beat you at your own game without breaking a sweat.
He was planning to take Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round, but before Baltimore could turn in the card,
this should have been thumbnail.
Shedeur let it be known that he didn't want to be on the roster with Lamar Jackson, where he would be a long-term backup. I guess Shedeur Sanders responded to the pregame report that he asked the Ravens not to draft him. And I guess this is a quote, I guess, from him saying, my response is, I'm focused on the now. I don't really talk about anything in the past or in whatever happened in the past. It is what it is. I'm more focused on the now. I'm more focused on how this game that we just gone and had and figuring out how to move forward from there.
And let's be honest, Dillon did everything he could. He dialed, texted, maybe even considered sending a singing telegram to make Shedeur feel special. None of it mattered. Shedeur is untouchable. Meanwhile, Dillon's brain is working overtime, probably running through every excuse in the book. Was it timing? Was it ego? Did Shedeur just wake up and think, nah, not today, let Dillon stew in his own fantasy world? The more Dillon rants in private group chats, the more obvious it becomes. He underestimated the sheer audacity of Shedeur Sanders. The guy is playing 3D chess while Dillon is stuck on checkers, thinking a little hustle and a few fancy words could bend reality to his will. It's hilarious, really, watching Dillon try to catch up to a storm that's already passed him by. And oh, the irony isn't lost. Here's Dillon, imagining a future where he's the hero, the guy everyone applauds, while Shedeur casually strolls past the chaos, deal rejected, grin firmly in place, like he just did the easiest thing in the world. Every strategic move Dillon thinks he's making only highlights the fact that Shedeur is operating on a level Dillon hasn't even read about in his playbook. Shedeur's decision to walk away isn't a snub, it's a statement. It's saying, I'm in control, I don't chase, I dictate, and yes, I can literally laugh while the rest of you scramble to keep up.
Yeah, I think for me, I look back and definitely want to just throw it away. Don't force anything, on a keeper, and felt like, there's just miscommunication on my part and something that we got to clean up. But I will, and we'll make sure of that.
There's still a week left here in this quarterback competition. Where do you think your player puts you
Yeah, I'm not worried about that at all. Just focus on a day at a time. At the end of the day, some decision will be made that's best for the team, and that'll be it. So, I'm just focused on being my best version of myself and contributing to our team and our QB room to be the best. And
And Dillon's frustration? Pure entertainment. Watching him try to process the rejection is like witnessing someone find out their ice cream cone just melted in their hand, but times 10. Every imagined outcome he rehearsed in his mind has crumbled, leaving him grasping at straws while Shedeur is probably out celebrating life, watching the ripple effect of chaos he created without even trying. It's the kind of power move that leaves people talking, shaking their heads, and wondering how one person can be so unbothered while everyone else combusts around them. Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel's belief that it was his time colliding with Shedeur Sanders' calculated calm is a masterclass in contrast. One thinks he's running the show, the other proves that timing, patience, and the right mindset beat overconfidence every single time. Shedeur didn't just reject a deal, he rewrote the script while Dillon is still stuck in the first act, screaming at a plot twist he didn't see coming. It's brutal, it's hilarious, and it's the kind of drama that makes the NFL look like a soap opera, with Dillon's frustration serving as comic relief and Shedeur's genius as the unshakable, untouchable centerpiece. Dillon Gabriel is pacing in his own little world, convinced that the starting spot is his for the taking. He can feel it. He can almost hear the imaginary crowd chanting his name. In his mind, the Browns' hierarchy is sweating bullets, waiting for him to finally swoop in and solve every problem they've ever had.
Flavor like, bro, Flacco won't stay upright. He getting his tore up already. Once he start on 4, okay, Dillon, let's go. If Gabriel don't go 4-1 or 3-2, it's gonna be Shedeur time.
I'm not worried about right now. I'm worried about longevity. Fit and system is so important for a quarterback more than any other position in all of sports. If you throw a quarterback in before they're ready, you could significantly hurt their development and their confidence. I just wish it was somewhere else. I wish he would go to a different place where he could be developed. Because the biggest thing in all this,
now you become a backup.
The truth, of course, is slightly less glamorous. Dillon knows the pressure is insane. He knows that the Browns haven't exactly been a picture of stability, but he's playing pretend like he can handle it all. He's imagining himself as some fearless quarterback warrior, taking command while everyone else quivers in awe. The reality? That starting spot is a beast, and Dillon's overconfidence is hilarious to anyone with a shred of perspective. Here's where it gets fun. Dillon's not just thinking about himself, he's thinking about Shedeur Sanders. Oh yes, Shedeur. Dillon desperately wanted Shedeur to take that massive Ravens deal, not because he respects him, not because he admires him, but because he knows that Shedeur walking away would somehow magically validate Dillon's own future. He thinks, if Shedeur takes the money, that opens a path for him. He believes, with all his heart, that the Browns coaching staff would automatically see him as the next in line, the natural heir to the quarterback throne. Dillon's logic is flawless in a cartoonish, Saturday morning kind of way. Remove Shedeur, and suddenly the spotlight is on him. But here's the kicker, Dillon isn't ready. He knows it deep down, even if he won't admit it. The pressure of being the next QB1 is colossal, and Dillon has no idea how to handle the media circus, the fans' expectations, or the subtle manipulations of the coaching staff.
We knew that. He was a placeholder. So all I'm saying is if I'm Shedeur Sanders and I have belief in myself, which he should, and every other kid should, and I want to at least have the opportunity to start one day, being behind Lamar Jackson is not, I'm never going to reach that. Never. Let's be real. There's never, Lamar could probably play till he's close to 40. So he's going to just be a career backup. Now, if it happens that way just organically because you're not that good, that's cool. But you, as a young guy, you want to at least give yourself a chance. And you know, in Cleveland, you got a chance. So I just don't understand, like, as a competitor, you want to play.
He can barely manage his own emotions without overthinking every single snap, yet in his mind, he's already leading game-winning drives, throwing Hail Marys while wearing a cape, and taking the Browns to a Super Bowl in one imaginary season. Reality is knocking, but Dillon is too busy patting himself on the back to notice. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders? He's on another plane entirely. Shedeur isn't just turning down a massive deal for the Ravens, he's sending a clear message to Dillon and everyone watching: I make my own rules. I don't bend. I don't panic. I don't play follow the leader. The beauty of it is that Dillon is completely blindsided. Every tactic, every mental pep talk, every rehearsal he's run in his head to corner Shedeur has been rendered irrelevant. It's the sports equivalent of showing up to a gunfight with a water pistol. And the more Dillon obsesses, the more obvious it becomes that he isn't actually ready. He's already running scenarios where he's outperforming Shedeur, imagining headlines praising his heroics while Shedeur sulks in the corner. It's pure fantasy, and anyone watching would probably need popcorn just to sit through it. Dillon is trying to psych himself up, pumping his chest, muttering motivational quotes to himself in the mirror, probably even practicing a victory walk down the locker room hallway. All of it is adorable, tragic, and hilarious at the same time.
I have nothing but high respect for Shedeur and everything he's doing. I respect him not wanting to go be behind Lamar because it was a guarantee that he would sit behind Lamar. They just paid him. When you look at the situation in Cleveland, people want to play. I'm not coming to the league to sit behind somebody. I don't want to do that. I want to play.
Right,
So,
but the
only reason it looks bad is because right now he's the third string quarterback. That's the only reason this situation looks bad. But when you go back to the thought process of what he was thinking when he made that decision, it totally makes sense. I wouldn't want to go sit by Cleveland had no quarterback. Yeah, I'm going to go to the place where I'm going to potentially be the starting quarterback. That makes a ton of sense to me.
But the truth is simple. Dillon can't be picked over Shedeur, and he knows it. Shedeur has the skill, the poise, and the mindset to handle the chaos that Dillon can't even begin to comprehend. If the Browns put Dillon in too early, the whole thing could collapse. And Dillon knows this instinctively, even if he's too stubborn to admit it. He's like a toddler insisting he can drive a car, knowing deep down that someone older is steering. The Browns aren't a team that can afford mistakes, and Dillon's mental image of himself as the savior quarterback is colliding violently with the brutal reality of professional football. The moment Shedeur declined the Ravens' offer, Dillon's entire mental architecture shifted. Suddenly, the path he thought was clear is clogged with obstacles, doubts, and the very real possibility that he's just not ready for the responsibility he's imagining. And yet, he persists. The stubbornness is almost heroic if it weren't so hilarious. Dillon is also battling himself. Inside, he knows that Shedeur's decision proves one thing: he isn't the next move in line. Shedeur's refusal is like a cold splash of water to the face. It says, yes, I could have taken that deal, but I have bigger plans, smarter strategies, and better timing than you. Dillon can feel the hierarchy's eyes on him, measuring, calculating, waiting for him to either rise or collapse.
Now the conversation is why Shedeur didn't want to get drafted to Baltimore. Bro, y'all can't be serious, bro. Y'all really cannot be serious. All right, so let's talk about it. So I guess the Baltimore Ravens were going to draft Shedeur in the 5th round, right? They're going to draft him in the 5th round. And Shedeur just told him straight up, like, look, Lamar Jackson is a 2-time MVP. You know, this, that, and that. I don't have a shot at playing in Baltimore. I don't have a shot. You know, and I respect that.
It's like standing at the edge of a cliff, convinced you can fly, while the wind whispers the truth in your ears. The comedy of it all is amplified by Dillon's imagination. He envisions press conferences, interviews, social media chaos, and fan reactions as though he's starring in a personal reality show. In his head, he's winning. And it gets worse for Dillon. Every day he waits, the pressure mounts. The Browns' hierarchy is restless, fans are impatient, and Dillon's fantasy of being the undisputed next QB1 becomes more fragile. Meanwhile, Shedeur continues his silent dominance. No big announcements, no dramatic declarations, just pure, unshakable control. It's the kind of calm confidence that makes Dillon's frantic energy look like a toddler running around with a megaphone in a library. Dillon's obsession with Shedeur's decision is almost pathological. He's replaying every interaction, every rumor, every whisper of maybe Shedeur might sign in his mind. He's convinced that if only he could have convinced Shedeur, he'd automatically be elevated.
I think he is going to be the backup at the start of the season, and I think he's earning their trust. I think he throws the ball excellent. He releases it well. It's a tight spiral. He sees the field quickly. He is really, really good at play faking, an essential part of this offense. And he can move around, and he's got a better arm than you would think a guy 5'10.5" would have. I can see why the Browns picked him ahead of Shedeur, okay? When you take into account his college career, which was much more productive than Shedeur's, he beats him every step of the way.
The absurdity of it is perfect for anyone watching from the sidelines. Dillon Gabriel, bright-eyed and overly confident, trapped in a mental loop where every solution depends entirely on another player's choice. Meanwhile, Shedeur isn't thinking about Dillon at all. He's thinking about timing, opportunity, and control, and in the process, he's redefining what it means to be untouchable in the NFL. In essence, Dillon Gabriel is facing a brutal, hilarious, and unavoidable truth. Shedeur Sanders isn't just a player, he's a force, a storm, a strategist operating 10 steps ahead while Dillon is stuck on the first square of the board. And the sheer audacity of watching Dillon wrestle with this reality, while simultaneously overestimating his own readiness, is what makes this entire saga absolutely mesmerizing. Dillon Gabriel wanted Shedeur to take that Ravens deal because he thought it would clear the path. It didn't. Shedeur's refusal didn't just block the way, it highlighted every flaw in Dillon's fantasy. He can't handle the pressure. He can't be picked over Shedeur. It's simple, brutal, and undeniable. Yet Dillon keeps fighting his own internal battle, spinning scenarios, imagining victory, and somehow managing to turn sheer overconfidence into a spectacle that's both tragic and hilarious.